in the sense that Herc was a graffiti writer before he was a DJ, and then he was a DJ. So he is the father in that sense. He didn't create break dancing. He didn't create breaking. He didn't create b-boying, but he's the one who names them. He comes up with that coinage. And the b-boys are really burners at that point. They're not breaking, they're burning. Okay, and then, a little later they start hitting the floor along with a bunch of other people. So, long story short, Herc is the foundation.
There it is.
Yeah.
You recently interviewed Afrika Bambaata. What could a person learn about the origins of hip hop by listening to that interview?
Well, when I wanted to go to the source, to one of the sources. And I asked Bam the ultimate question. Are Puerto Ricans guests in the house of hip hop? And there were people who watched and listened to that interview and said, well, he kind of beat around the bush. I don't feel that way at all. I feel as though he took us deeper. See, this is a problem. People are afraid when it comes to this topic to go deep in the weeds, and they'll make excuses. Well, we don't have to get deep in the weeds. This is just obvious. No, it's not obvious, as obvious as you think. So when he answers this and he says, you first of all need to know your history. And if you don't know your history, you need to just be quiet. Stop talking. And he starts to talk about the unity between black and brown. In fact, he says we're one people. So to say Puerto Ricans weren't doing this or doing that, he says it's silly. It's ridiculous. And he points out, this is where he starts going back in history, and he starts pointing out, listen, one of the best curators of Black American history was a Puerto Rican, Arturo Schomburg, who has a library in Harlem. This is Bam saying this. Then he says, in our gang days, we used to have the Black Liberation flag and the Puerto Rican patches. So we were always together. He said, where you saw us dancing, you saw the Puerto Ricans dancing. And where you saw the Puerto Ricans dancing, you saw us dancing. So in a nutshell, 17-minute interview, which I encourage everybody to go watch.